Healing Guides, Part 16. Short message today, I promise. So, I was online, specifically YouTube, and I wasn't really trying to watch anything random. I had a specific content that I was looking for, but then, they always recommend stuff, and you sometimes look at the news and other videos, usually the YouTube shorts, just keep popping up. So, you might just kind of keep scrolling and lose a lot of time to that. So, basically, I saw a lot of these YouTube Shorts videos that were all about crimes happening throughout the world. Like someone entering a store to try to steal, someone about to be kidnapped, someone escaping, something like that. Just constant, examples of all the evil that's happening every day, while a lot of us are just kind of having normal days. Other people are fighting for their lives. Usually children, who are always, the devil's first group that he likes to go after. There's way more evil happening to children, way more than just the trafficking that people know about. So anyways, as I kept, scrolling through those videos, sort of the analytical side of me just kept, watching more of them to try to sort of understand what's going on, Like you want to understand how things are getting in this world, right? And I didn't even realize it, but I started to feel depression or this dark energy in my chest. I just felt drained. I don't even know what to call it. It's just a bad emotion. It's just sad. But I wasn't technically aware that I was feeling that way as I was watching those depressing videos. So the point I'm trying to make right now is, as a human being, if that ever happens where you go online and you watch something depressing, or even if you think it's not going to be depressing, but it just causes you depression, or just you feel depleted, and no matter what you do, like maybe a fun hobby, you try to listen to something nice, maybe you try to have fun, and you just can't get that depletion out of your body, out of your mind. You're just drained. There's just too much bad energy inside your system. An advice I would have for that is basically to try to think of what you can do to decrease all that suffering, all those crimes, all those horrible things happening to people. What can you do to actually assist those who are already fighting those horrible crimes? I'm not telling you to go out there and be a humanitarian. I'm just saying, think about it. There's always something you can do, even if it's also you being highly observant when you're outside in public. Even thinking about it, if something like that was to happen, you're at a mall and some shooting took place, just what you're going to do, it's not bad to think about it, right? Make that decision right now that you'll be a hero, etc. So I'm just trying to send compassion to anyone who's ever, either heard stories or heard the news or watches these videos online. Usually it's security cameras just capturing all the horrible things happening to people, usually homeowners. People always trying to steal from them. Even the delivery drivers are crazy. There's just more crime in the world now because all the human beings who have that darkness in their heart are just more comfortable now expressing it into action. Evil was always around. These types of human beings were always around. They were usually just that coworker, They were just that classmate. But now there's just more evil that the devil just really wants to inflict. So he gives them a little more of that confidence, or he just wants to use them now. So that just means we're going to see things we've already known A lot of human beings are hiding in their heart hatred and evil and darkness and perversion. We're just going to see it more now, just sort of happening in their confidence. They're just going to do it confidently. They're not scared anymore. Because just something is happening from the spiritual world where demons have just come together and they're like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just bring more chaos. You know? It doesn't necessarily mean there's more evil humans in the world. They're just choosing to use them more in this way. But that's also because we have security cameras now. We're able to see things that have been happening since, human history started. All these horrible things that you think are increasing crime, right? Oh my God, what's happening? Why is there so much crime? It's because now there's a way to actually see it. There's footage. If there was no camera, then you think there's less crime because you're not seeing it. So I don't think crime's actually increased. I just think they increased a little bit. But I don't think they increased in the sense of like 80% or 50% more. It's just that we now can see it because of all that technology. So remember today to protect your energy on these healing guides. Really, my goal is to give you a lot of spiritual wisdom so that you can use it to heal yourself on all the issues, situations, traumas, as well as things that are just happening in this world so that you can understand it, because it's also going to cause you a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, like watching these videos where there's crime happening, or documentary videos of really horrific, serial killers or rapists or crimes, or, those detective-like videos where they sort of investigate one individual or criminal, not one individual who was a criminal, in a just more in-depth way. They investigate them, they interview them, and you'll see that, you'll see the sort of deadness they have. Of course, if they're evil, they're supposed to have no emotion, but you should still have some emotion, right? Like maybe hatred, right? Something should come out of you. It should just be bad emotions. And I hope you guys, when you see that, you remember one of the things I said, which is that since evil human beings are all demonically possessed, they are gonna have no emotion on their face when you interact with them, because it's the demon you're interacting with at that moment, not the human. Therefore, there's no emotion. You're not gonna see anything. And demons do not like to tell you why this human did it or why the demon did it using their body. So they're not gonna want to explain sort of like their backstory, because obviously they were human, right? Things happened to them, they changed, they transformed. Certain things obviously took place and they went down that path. The demon doesn't like to tell you that. They'll just kind of tell you, they'll just kind of tell you sort of the thought process they had during the time they were committing the crime, but not before that. Not like their own personal transformation as a human being. They're not going to tell you that, because the demon will not allow that, because then you get to really understand what's going on. And they don't want you to know that, because that would make it hard for them to keep corrupting more human beings like that. And I'm not saying if we understood what's wrong with these human beings who become evil and, criminals, I'm not saying that we can stop it. Obviously they're still going to turn to that type of darkness, because that was their choice and it was always going to be their choice. But you know what I mean? It's still going to be their choice, even if we had a lot of spiritual wisdom to try to understand them, or even try to break their brains apart and stuff. But at least we would have an understanding, right? As human beings, we would be like, oh, this human was like this, then they were like that. They felt this way, this type of hatred, this type of jealousy. This person, they felt this way towards them, then that caused them to steal, that caused them to attempt murder, The demon doesn't want you to know that. How he transformed this human being. You get me? Which is why there's really no point in wasting your time on that. It's nice to have information as human beings. We're curious. But it's better to study them yourself instead of interviewing them, because they're possessed. The demon will lie. So If you ever got affected by all that darkness online, which is really just the darkness in the world, but you could just see it online, or you heard about it, or you saw it yourself, think of what you can do to make this world more safer. I really mean that. I know you're thinking, how am I going to do that? That's just a nice advice, but I'm not obviously going to do it. You really can. You really can bring more peace to this world. Teaching even your little siblings, your friends, your, romantic partners, your family members, everyone. You can all just protect each other. That also counts as you protecting a human, right? Just because you know them doesn't mean you didn't protect anyone. It doesn't have to be someone over there who's a stranger. A life is still, right, just anyone. So you guys can talk, you can talk about what you would do if there's a burglary. You can talk about what you're gonna do if, you're at a store and a robber comes in with a gunshot, not gunshot, with a gun, So just, right, don't dwell on it, obviously. Don't, think about it too much and be too uh, absorbed in that, but just think about what you would do to protect yourself. Be ready. But at the same time, guard your home, protect your environment. Think about ways you can protect your property, your cars, etc. Teach your children, teach your little nephews. Don't leave that up to your parents. If you're like the oldest sibling, you teach them, how they can protect themselves from predators in school, in the family itself. Someone in the family could try to rape them or kill them. Human beings don't teach each other about survival. They just talk about things over there. That's why crimes happen so much, because no one's learning the mental and the physical rules for what to do, like how you're supposed to think and how you're supposed to behave, the mental and the physical rules on how you're supposed to behave when crime is about to happen or is happening. Some people are just really smart and they do their thing, and the others who can't really do that, maybe unless you teach them really well, they're so slow and things happen. Sometimes the human is just slow, and that slowness really gets them killed. They're sometimes really dumb in terms of understanding others' intentions and energy and vibes, and the fact that this person's fake, and that person who's acting like a fake friend kills them. You know what I mean? So the other thing I would advise you to do is to observe the humans around you. The person you're living with right now, like a roommate, someone who's you've been around for years, someone who wants to marry you, your own parents, they could be plotting to kill you or get you raped or try to rape you themselves. They could be trying to steal from you or ask others to set up situations for you where bad things happen to you. They can sometimes use others to protect their image. So I don't want you to be like, excuse me, yes, I mean it. Okay? Judge the people in your life. Judge the human beings in your actual life. Because some of them, for many of you, will be the ones trying to do crime to you. All the human beings who had crime done to them by those they knew are not any different than you. They're just human like you. That could be you this time. What made you so different? How do you know what type of heart your father has right now? He could develop a tendency to want to kill or rape just by watching so much filthy things online, all that porn and stuff. And then the devil could come to him and be like, how about this? And he could be like, okay, it's that easy. The devil just has to show them evil. And because they're capable of it, he just has to give them an option. Do you want to do it? And they're like, sure. He'll set the pace. He'll find a victim for them. Okay. Or he'll create a situation. And when I say victim, I mean someone who actually fell into the situation because they didn't fight. Not like an actual victim. I mean like victim as in like a weak person who won't fight and protect themselves. The devil looks for them. He knows who they are. But then obviously sometimes they try to harass or attack strong people and they fight. It depends on who you are and how you want to behave in that situation. But we still have to train human beings on how to be stronger and be ready, to always be alert, always be conscious of what's happening. Sometimes children are literally getting abducted at a retail store and you're right there on the other side. If you had a little bit more awareness, maybe you pass by that. So really do the best you can to think of ways you can make this world more safer. Maybe you can create a volunteering committee, just with your friends or family or just your neighborhood. You can create a nice little poster or even a brochure and put it out in front of people's doors, and they want to join, and as well as just organizing it on social media. You can even do community patrol, man. Why not? Certain nights, certain days, certain times that that place is not safe. As a community, you can make sure it's safe. Don't leave everything to law enforcement. We're all supposed to protect each other. So come up with ways to really make a difference. And I'll be proud of you and I'll pray for you if you do that. You're all in my prayers. The first prayer I always make to God is to protect human beings from rape. I'm sorry, if you die, that's okay. Someone steals from you, it's okay. I'm sorry about that. There's a crazy dog barking. But, right, the most evil thing that can happen to a human being, the most filthiest thing that can happen to a human being is rape or molestation, perversion. I only fear for you all when it comes to that. Not all, I just mean I only fear for a human when it comes to that stuff. And that is the one that's actually the most abundant that devils like to use. So, right? Because it's the most violating one, right? It's violating. Therefore, they'll go for that. So, the other way that you contribute to making this world a better place and you work on your way to healing is for you to stop watching filthy things online, justifying it because maybe the one you're watching seems natural, like male and female who are just normal, not filthy stuff, who are not blood related to each other and stuff, just male and female sex. Don't do that. You wouldn't go into their room and watch them do that. You consider yourself filthy and perverted and harmful and a predator, right? You feel like you're watching their bodies. It's disgusting, correct? Okay, so don't let the devil trick you into thinking it's okay to watch it because it's online. He does know how to manipulate the mind, okay? The thing is not dumb, because it has done this for billions of years before we were even born. It did it to other humans. Now it's just technology. But it knows how to twist the brain. So don't let it justify it for you. Give up porn. Give up smoking. Give up drugs. What was the other one? Give up sex before marriage and outside of marriage. All those things get you demonically possessed. And a lot of you are possessed. And one day you're going to be one of those criminals or those weirdos that gets recorded and called a Karen because you start having your demon lashing out at you. You think, hell no, is that going to be me? Seriously, we're going to have like at least 80-something plus % of the human race become crazy when they go outside. Sorry about that noise. That's actually demonic. Just so you guys know, I'm in very nice, quiet places. But then some cars will pass by, intentionally do that thing they do to the car. That actually causes a lot of road rage because someone gets pissed off. They just, I don't know what the word is. Is it reggae? I don't know what the word is, but they just do something to the vehicle. They just ramp it up. That's not how you drive a car, obviously. But every time noise happens behind me when I'm recording this, it's not because I'm going to places that are loud. I'm in a nice corner, okay? There's no one outside. But demons actually do that. Using the humans who are passing by. They actually come to my environment and walk by. And because of what I'm saying, what I'm recording, they want to ruin it. And they also annoyed by it. They do that. They ramp up the vehicle making those annoying noises. Boom, just right by me. But that's not how the human was or is before they pass by me. You get me? It's demonic that are doing that when I'm recording this. They make a lot of noise around me, so I can't record this properly. So I don't care. I'm just going to keep recording it. I'm not going to be like, this is supposed to be a podcast. It's supposed to be perfect. I don't care. I record when the inspiration comes to me, and it usually does when I'm walking. So I'm gonna, get the inspiration too. Even if I was in my home, they still make noise, because when I'm inside too, you can still sometimes hear the noises from cars in the road, right? Okay. The other thing that happens when I record is these really creepy, weird animals or creatures will start, running towards me, like these weird types of insects, but they're like kind of large and really creepy, and they're trying to attack me. They actually try to go into my eyes, and some of them try to bit you, and I'm not in a place they're supposed to be in. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm in nice places, but these insects come there. Okay, these pests, they come there because the demons possess animals and they possess pests or insects. So they'll use them to attack you too. That's why sometimes a snake would just be in a place that it just doesn't make sense. It's a nice neighborhood. Where did he come from? Where did that bear come from? They're using the animals. As I was recording earlier, I hope you heard it. This dog that was just, on the ground, the human was there. The dog was quiet, minding his business. All of a sudden, they make that woof noise because I was passing by. You see, and please don't be like that's what dogs do. No, it's not the one where a dog is like greeting you, okay? No, the dog got angry. You get me? It's a demonic spirit that's inside that dog that was making that noise to disrupt what I'm recording, right? Make it hard for me to speak and record. The other way I know is demonic is this horrible fear attacks my stomach, because that's how you know you're getting demonically attacked. It doesn't mean you're scared. Why would you be scared of a dog, making a barking noise? It's that the demon actually sent you fear. You get me? He's trying to intimidate you. So my stomach sometimes will get this horrible fear just attacking it. And, it makes your heart beat. And there you go. It only happened when the animal barked, or even sometimes when just a noise happened. Things that don't cause any fear. You get me? The animal is not trying to attack you or anything. Okay, so then if fear is attacking your body, the fear came from a demonic. You get what I mean? If the situation itself is not threatening, it doesn't make sense. So they're doing that so that then if your body is getting attacked, right, and they're making your heart beat and stuff, you not have a hard time recording what you're saying. You get me? So demons do that when I'm in the environment, when I'm just passing by, when I'm just walking around. They use the humans they're possessing, the animals, the pests, or the insects. They use everything to make noise and to anger me and to try to irritate me and to try to, make you uncomfortable. And then one thing I do is I usually greet them. Um, for example, since I'm Muslim, I say something like "Assalamu alaikum," which means peace be upon you. And the dog sits down. He literally becomes sort of like submissive in his body language. It just kneels down. Okay, but if I don't say anything like that and I just keep walking, the dog will give you this long, hateful stare, like some sort of human. That's not what animals do. It's not like just animal looking at you or staring. No, it's actually making a hateful, violent stare. That's demonic, okay? Um, and just right 5 seconds ago, the dog was just literally about to sleep. It was minding its business. And when I see them other times, they're so peaceful. You get me? So it's a demonic that's using them when they're just acting out, which explains a lot of the videos you will see online, which is animals attacking children, animals attacking toddlers. Those were one of the videos I actually were watching. That's demons, okay? Trying to kill your baby using animals, using dogs that just randomly attack this toddler. You get me? Like it just boom, just something enters the animal, and they just want to attack this kid. They just want to attack this lady. They're animals, but they're trained. That's not how they behave every day, right? Especially in these countries like the U.S. For them to just snap and then want to attack someone, that's demonic using them. So I'll end it right here. I said I was gonna make it short, but it kind of got longer because of all the noise that these demons make when I try to record. All the, animals they try to send. Sometimes a dog was just run. One time a dog was actually running towards me. You guys hear that noise? I don't even think I should stop it. In order to give you sort of like evidence, I should let you see what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is, one time there was this dog as I was walking. It was demonically possessed. So it was a demon trying to intimidate you. It actually was just running towards me. It was trying to intimidate you. You get me? It's not going to do anything. And I turn around and I actually said shaitan, which means devil, um, in Arabic, As Muslims, we just sometimes we use a religion to kind of deal with situations that humans may not think is spiritual, because you can tell sometimes when it's spiritual. So I knew that was a demon trying to intimidate you. So I spoke to it, I intimidated it basically. I didn't raise my voice. I did it in whisper, like, but it can hear you because it's a demon. Even far away, they can hear you sometimes. Um, and the dog, sorry, and the dog, just ran. He just ran away because I intimidated it. You get me? So they do things like that. Don't be scared and don't always think it's an animal or human, okay? Because that's never ever the case. Anytime something is trying to do violence, evil, harm, demons are always using them, okay? So always see that you have power by seeing that you can just attack the demon. You can intimidate the demon. You can recite a prayer over the demon. You can call God that moment. You can say to the demon, I dare you to come up to me. I'll kill you. Just try to scare the spirit, That will weaken it, and the human will get weaker. The animal they're using will get weaker. You get me? It's all about intimidation. If you freak out and act like a coward, of course they'll attack you. You get me? Just common sense. But this is one of the things you'll see in this world. Animals attacking people, criminals just being more sort of confident now to do it even in front of cops and government places, and everything will just be what you expect, right? Crimes happen, but just more confidently now, anywhere now, even in front of cameras. There's just no care in the world. You get me? Because the world is about to end. So there's a spiritual sort of rule that's sort of like being manifested, where they're like, let's just go, let's just do as many bad things as we can, because we're about to be taken out of this earth. These demons, their time is running out, you know? So take care of yourselves, protect yourself, teach children how to protect themselves from perverts, whether they're, trying to abduct them, rape or molest or whatever. Teach them not to ever let anyone touch their private parts, whether it's, people they know, like family or siblings, or those you leave them with sometimes, like daycare or doctors, nurses. No human, you know what I mean, should ever touch their private parts or get close to. Just teach them stuff like that. No human should ever, etc. Touch you, etc. Like that, and teach them the other areas they can't touch too. Obviously, teach them the difference between normal touching and the perversion. And they already feel it. Obviously, they're human like you and me. They have a gut, but just teach them. Don't leave them behind and be like, yeah, let's just teach them math and science. No, the first thing humans should learn when they're born is survival. Don't you agree? Because we live in an evil world. Since your life is more important than education, obviously you should learn how to protect your life and your body, right? So I don't understand how they don't put that into schools. It's very disturbing. But one day we should definitely. One day that's one of my goals, to force schools to actually teach children about all the type of criminals out there and how to protect yourself from them, what evil, is. You're not going to be graphic with it, but, we got to teach them the basics of just what it is and what to do in that situation. So take care of yourselves.